Hi there. Well, I wanted to go through a few things on getting started with Pearson. So if you'll go to your Canvas, on the Canvas is that registration handout. On the registration handout is the link to get to Pearson, which is right here, that number 1, go to. So that is where you'll want to, start with the bookmarking. So here you can sign in because you've already registered. So you sign in, put in your password and your username. And then a block will show up, a little box with the name of your course in it. And if you click that, then you're going to come to something that looks like this. I look a little bit different. This is my instructor's one, but it'll be very similar to this. Now, before we go too far, and I'm sure Pearson's probably told you this with this little emergency thing saying you have to allow pop-ups. So if you have a PC, Pearson uses pop-ups extensively. Now, if you have a PC, if you will look at the URL bar over here by this star, there'll be this red icon. And if you push that, then a thing will show up and it'll say always allow pop-ups in Pearson. And that's what you'll want to click, is that one. And that may show up. You may have to do this 3 or 4 times before it finally gets it that, oh, always allow pop-ups for Pearson. If you have a Mac, I'm not very familiar with Macs. You'll just have to figure out how to allow pop-ups or get rid of your pop-up blocker for Pearson, or it won't work. All right, so we got that out of the way. All right, so you'll have something that looks like this. Now here, I'm going to move it up a little bit. Okay. Now, this is a 2-week where you can look at 2 weeks ahead. Each of these blue dots is an assignment that's due. So you have one due on Wednesday, September 1st. You can go to a 1 month. All right. And then you can see, well, that's August, sorry, September. Here's the one that's due on Wednesday. And then there are 8 assignments due on the 5th of September. And, they're not really, the assignments aren't too long. It's just kind of an introduction type stuff to numbers. And as long as you do 2 a day, 8 assignments, 4 days, you're done. And I try to keep the assignments down as far as time goes. So, if you're spending 2 hours on an assignment, you need to contact me because that's not meant to be. All right. So again, you have this option of going, 2 weeks or a month out or 1 week. Below that, you could click on those and it'll take you to the assignment, or you can scroll down and here a list of the assignments and also they're due. Here they're due September 1st at midnight. They're always due at midnight. This one I kind of looked at because Pearson's changed a few things. So I kind of looked at some of these problems and that would be the score. You can always do better, with your scores. And I'll show you that here in a second. And here are some of these other assignments and you can click on any assignment. You don't have to go in order. I do have corresponding videos for each of these assignments. So you can go to Canvas, watch the video, and then do the assignment. You can try the assignment, see how you do. If you have any questions, you can go over to Canvas and look at the video for that section. And there's also some help in Pearson if you want to use that. You don't have to use the videos like I've said earlier. So if we were to pick an assignment, let's practice an assignment and look what is it like to do an assignment in Pearson. Let's do the homework section 1.7 and 1.9. Let's look at that one. Oh, wow. 32 questions, 33 questions. This is probably a scary one for you, but most of these questions don't take that long. All right, so if we were to look at one of them. Now, okay, so here's a list of the assignments. You can start with number 1. All right. So change the UMA, believe. Hopefully I just did not mess this up. Okay. So here's question number 1. If you look at the top here, question number 1, part 1 of 7. So this one has 7 parts to it. and you can, so you would answer the question, and then you would say check answer. So, all right, so here, to solve this, what will solve the equation for t? Well, we would actually subtract 6 on each side. So we would pick E. Then you come down here to the bottom right and of the screen and check answer. And it would say fantastic. That's okay. And then the next part comes up where they actually want to subtract 6 on each side. So then you would fill that in. So what are you going to subtract? You're going to subtract 6. And again, if you don't understand this, this is fine. We're just kind of going through some of the, good job. Okay, so now if you look at the top middle part, it says part 3 of 7 that we're on. Now let's say we wanted to go to a different question. Well, you see here's an arrow here. You can go next question, all right? Or you can go to here, and it's a drop down. And the reason it has a red X is because we're not done. You can always go back. It'll save what you've done and go back and finish it and get full credit. And you can pick another one to work on in this section. Let's see, question 4. I'm okay, important. You have not completed this question. You will receive credit only for the work you've done. Yeah, we're going to come back. So we're going to say yes, and we're going to come back. So here, solve by trial. All right, now the solution is, so when you want to put something, when they have a box like this, you click in the box, okay, and you would type in the number. The solution is, now notice that when I click this, these icons showed up at the bottom, and sometimes you'll need them and sometimes you won't. And there's some other ones that I want to show you. So the solution is, well, what times 22 gives you 0? Well, it's 0. Okay. Now, let's say you had problems with this. You didn't know how to solve this. You've got some options to help you. If you look down here, you could say, help me solve this. Now, if you use the help me solve this, and you have a question that has multiple parts, if you use this help me solve this, you will have to start at the beginning. So you'll have to, it will actually go through what you have on your screen, your numbers, and it will help you solve it. But then it will give you another question with different numbers. And if you're on like step 4 of 7 or step 3 of 7, you'll have to start all over again. That's the danger of using help me solve this. But another one you can use is view an example. If you view an example, it gives you a pop-up. It gives you another one, not the same numbers that you had in your original. It gives you different ones, and it's going to step-by-step solve it. So this pop-up, I'm going to press continue on this pop-up. Recall that the product of 0 and any whole number is 0. So they're talking you through and showing you how that 0 times any number is 0. Since 0 times any number is 0 is a true sentence, the solution is 0. Now, this can be helpful. These view and examples can be helpful because sometimes Pearson wants your answer in a certain way. And if you're not sure what the answer should look like, you can view an example, go through that and see what their answer looks like, and that's how you will type your answer in. All right. So again, that's why some people don't like Pearson, is because you need to type the answer in exactly the way they want it, whether or not it's a simplified fraction, whether or not it's a decimal rounded to the nearest tenth, to the nearest hundredth, and they will tell you how they want the answer to look. So it's important that you pay attention to, like the solution is, sometimes they would put round your answer to the nearest tenth. So pay attention to that, or type it as a fraction, a reduced fraction. All right, so that's an example of view an example, and that can really help. Get more help. Let's see what they have. You can go to the textbook, and if you push go to the textbook, it'll go to the page in the textbook, because they have an e-text embedded in here that will show you examples in the textbook on a certain page. So it'll go to the exact page where you can find help for this problem, which is section 1.7. All right. So ask my instructor. Yeah, you're better off just texting me if you have any questions. All right. So you can check the answer. Nice work. Okay, so now let's say that you want to leave this, and let's see, you can save it if you know it's saved. All right, but you can save it here. Oh, I want to go back to, oops, I don't want to mess this up. I have to move me. There we go. You can just get out of it. The changes may not be saved, or usually they'll save it. But if it does, see, this question number 4 is where we were. The green means that we saved it. But you can always save it and then come here. Now, if you want to go to another assignment, make sure you close this one before you go to another assignment. You don't want to have multiple assignments open at once. Like you don't want to have 1.7 open, 1.9 open, and 2.0. Because then you run into some problems of it saving it for you. All right. So now we're going to go, and so that's just kind of some introductions on how to use that. Let's see. I want to go to assignments. I want to go back, but I also want the student view. So over here on this left. Yeah, no, that's not the student view. I'm going to have to move this. Okay, course home. Student view. All right, let's talk about some more of these here. The assignment that is due first is Pearson. So in Pearson, like I say, I've kind of already started it. This assignment I'm going to use for attendance. The college wants me to record if students are participating in the class. And they use this for financial aid and scholarship, because if you're not showing up, then you can lose your financial aid or scholarships. So around the 1st or the 2nd, they're going to ask me who is participating. And it's this assignment that I'm going to use, this Pearson orientation, to tell the college if you're showing up or not. So make sure that you do get this one done. And it's not due until Wednesday. And there's only 6 problems in it. So it shouldn't take you that long to get that done. So, you know, I'm August. Maybe you've got these multiple assignments. So kind of, you know, it's really not too bad. You guys are going to get used to it. I can go back to the 2-week. There we go. All right. So that's kind of, you know, you just punch on the assignment, click on the assignment, and get started with it. Let's see. Is there anything else? Okay. This one's got 32. Let me go back. I don't think that's the one I wanted to show you. Sorry. We could look at, oh, yes. Welcome to MyMathLab is also an embedded, it's their video. And if you have any questions or need some extra help from them on how to enter and answer, you can always, they'll explain some things here in this Welcome to MyMathLab. But this is not required for our course. That's just there to help you out. It's just these here are for our course, these ones down here. Now, if I were to click this Pearson, some of these are already done. Let's click a question here. Just make sure I've gone through everything that you might need. I don't have to worry about the skill builder stuff. Nah, it's not necessary. Okay. All right. And again, you can go to the assignment. I think maybe if you have any questions, you can just let me know. You see these arrows here, you can go next question, like I said, or you can go to here and do an overview and go to the questions there. If you do the overview, just go to a question you want to work on. And then see, the nice thing about the overview is it tells you questions that you still need to complete. This question 5 is not done. All right. So, okay. Good deal. Leave. Now, as far as your grade goes in the course, let's go back to the home. I'm sure it's going to take me back to this one. All right, if you look over here on the right-hand side, yeah, there's this right here tells you the grade in the class. 15% is your grade. And that's, up to date. As soon as you click something and you're done, it'll update it. When you take a test, it'll update it. Another place to check your grade is over here on the bar, on this left-hand bar here. You can go to Student Gradebook. And now on Student Gradebook, it has ones that we've worked on. And this is also helpful for other classes when you're in another class, 14.61%. That's because I haven't finished them. But let's say you want to review for a test and without changing your grade in your assignments. Well, if you want to review for a test, you can go to Student Gradebook, go over here and you can press review. And it usually has a pop-up. Okay. It says here, you are reviewing your homework. Any work you do here will not change your score. And the reason they tell you that is that some people actually think they can improve their score by going to this, but you can't. So you don't have to worry about it. This is just review. And you can click on a question and review it. And it'll give you a similar question to what you had as the original. So this is a way to review for a test. Okay. Another helpful is going back over to this bar is the video and resource library. And I'm just kind of touching on a few things to get you started. Okay, so let's say that you're having trouble in a certain section. Now, this can also be for another class, like your 1000 or your 1500. If you missed a day, you're in an in-class math class and you missed a day, you can go to this video and resource library on that left-hand side. Let's say you missed chapter 3, section 2. All right, section 2. So you were gone for section 3.2. And you can select all, but it has some learning tools here for you. And find. Scroll down, and it has some things that might help you. There's an animation where you could click on how to do prime factorization using a little animation. There's some videos that you can use to look at some ideas or some lessons on these. There's a PowerPoint you could look at. All right, chapter 3, there's some test prep videos, which would get you ready for the chapter, but may not necessarily cover what's exactly in the chapter. Multimedia textbook. So, these are just some ideas. These are some helpful hints. So there are some benefits to Pearson, to MyMathLab. Now, let's see, we can go back to the main menu. So we talked about the grade books and videos. Let's see. How to, get into the assignments. You can save them. You can manipulate around the assignments. Just remember, let's go back to this one right here. I've done questions 1 and 2 and part of 5. So if you stop there, you would get full credit for 1, 2, and part of 5. If you decided you wanted to, on Thursday, after the assignment is due, if you wanted to get partial credit, you could do 3, 4, and 6. The only thing is with 3, 4, and 6, 10% will be deducted from your grade. Not from 1, 2, and part of 5. You'll get full credit for those. But after the due date, you'll only get 90% of whatever you do on those they are done after the due date. So in other words, I'll deduct 10%, which isn't really too bad. Okay, so all righty. Well, I hope that helps. Again, you've got to allow pop-ups. If you're having trouble navigating, let me know. And again, you can try that orientation one, and then you can get started whenever you want to. I will be opening up a test here. Let's see, our first test. Let's view the month. I have to go to September. I'll probably be opening up the test on Wednesday or Thursday. The thing is that there's another video that you're going to have to watch because we're going to use Respondus, which is a lockdown browser when you're taking the test, and you have to install it, but you only have to do it once. And after that, you just click on the test and you're ready to go. But I'll be opening up that test, next week sometime. And then it won't be due until like the 6th. All righty. So, and again, don't let the number of problems in an assignment intimidate you. A lot of times they go very, very quickly once you get started. Well, if you have any questions, please let me know and I'll be happy to answer them. And I guess that's all. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.